Okay, this is a question for, well, it's for anybody, but for the parents out there. You're a parent. Your son, your teenage son, is at school. You get a phone call. Your son's at the hospital. There's a problem. You arrive to find this. What do you do? He's fine.
It was funny.
He took a hit off his friend's THC pen.
I'm trying not to laugh, but I've been there, bro.
And he's never experienced it before, and so he got high for the first time at school and was all whacked out. He's higher than a kite.
You good? Nice little learning experience? This thing went viral. Wait till you go to school tomorrow, bro.
That's good.
On Friday. You have school.
No,
Who said?
we have a 4-day weekend.
Monday.
No, we have a Friday to
I
Tuesdays.
didn't get that memo.
You can check. We have 4-day.
So you off Friday and Monday? You lucky the school ain't suspend your dumbass.
Now, the first thing I will say is I probably wouldn't record my son in this moment, but what would you guys do? I don't. In that scenario, I couldn't bring myself to like yell and scream. There are a lot of things that my kids have done that I'm like, "What? Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you new here?" You know, shit like that. But when it comes to this particular subject, my kids have been raised in a household where that was the norm. So much so that my son, when my wife went out to have drinks with a friend like a year or two ago, and she came back, friend drove her, an old coworker, and the two ladies went down to the Mexican restaurant, had some margaritas, bullshit for a few hours, and then her friend brought her back, and my son was like, "Where were you?" And my wife was like, "Well, I went out for drinks with my friend." And he's like, "And you drove home?" Kind of giving her the Inquisition. And then, I don't know, a few months later, she had a bad day doing something, and she had a glass of wine, which we never do. We never drink, ever, 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 ever drink, especially not in the house. We just don't typically have it around. And she had a glass of wine, and our son was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm having a glass of wine." He's like, "How many of those are you going to have?" And so we had a talk with him. Right? "Well, you really got a problem when mom drinks." And he's like, "Well, that's not normal," because he was raised in a house where nobody drinks. And so we said to him, we asked him, we said, "But you don't have a problem when mom takes her edibles? Or when dad is in his office having his joint?" And he's like, "No, that's normal." So in his world, in my 14-year-old son's world, marijuana consumption is normal, alcohol consumption is not. The complete opposite of the worlds that both my wife and I grew up in, where weed was a no-go and everybody drank. I wouldn't be able to yell at my child in this instance. He got curious. I would be disappointed in the manner in which he did it, considering the history he knows of it and how much he grew up with it being talked about and being normalized. In this house, when you turn 18, you are 18. You are an adult. You want to smoke cigarettes? Smoke cigarettes. You want to drink alcohol? Drink alcohol. You want to smoke weed? Smoke weed. You just need to understand that you're an adult in this house. The law says otherwise when you go outside, and you've got to face the consequences of your actions. But here, you're an adult. And it was that way with our daughter Magnolia. It was that way with our daughter Lily. And it's going to be that way with our son Tommy. You are an adult. You can do what you want. But yeah, this would not have been a yelling and screaming moment by any stretch of the imagination, but it definitely would have been a moment to have a conversation of, "Man, you know all about this stuff. We've had these conversations. You know. Why'd you go to some fucking kid that you didn't know what he was giving you?" Blah, blah, blah. But what would you as a parent do? You get a phone call from your son's school. Your son was unresponsive. They took him to the hospital. You show up to the ER, and he's higher than eagle titties because he hit his friend's vape.